want to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below. So I'm online like I normally am, and I go past the feed and I see a whole bunch of hoopla, right? This person wrote using moves created and solidified by Jackson State University majorette dancers. No credit given, just vibes. It's ridiculous. Now, initially, when I first saw this, my inkling was obviously something is getting whitewashed. Obviously, something is getting Columbus. Obviously, something is getting stolen, and you have this woman here making a fuss about it because she noticed it and she's trying to get everybody to pay attention. But then I was shocked to find out that the people that she was talking about were actually black women who are in college, and they were on the Jennifer Hudson show, and they were doing a dance, and they were listing and stating the reason why it is that they, started up their own thing in order to give themselves their own, in a sense, safe space, since they are amongst the greater majority of white individuals. So let's just look at something here. So at this moment, I have to mute the audio because it's copyrighted. They're dancing to chopper style, right? Now, some people might know what it is. Some people who don't, you can, look it up directly on YouTube. But I'm looking at, right, the young women dancing. I'm looking at the energy that they are giving. I'm looking at the performance. They are 100% there. Now, for me, when I look at this, I don't see an issue or a problem specifically, with what is going on. So let's go into the explanation.
What do you think the impact is, and how important it is to have it at your school?
As a black woman, it's always been the first thing on my mind, whether that was in high school. I've grown up being a dancer. I did gymnastics as well, and I wanted to continue that along the journey. And so when I did this, it wasn't just for me.
Right.
It was because I didn't see young black girls with curly hair, young black girls with braids dancing on teams and being out there in the public eye. And so this was really just a way for me to show not just other young black girls at USC, but to show any black girl on any campus, at any high school, at any elementary school, that if you think about something and you have a dream to do it, then you can do anything you want to do.
You better tell them. Okay. Oh my God. So what is next for you divas? What do you see? What's ahead for you all?
Ahead is hopefully one day being on the field with halftime performances along with the USC band.
Done and done and done and done and done.
Now, you heard the young woman's explanation, but let's go over this thesis that this woman decided to write about these young women. Number one, she stated, bucking to chopper style. Not one word about where the style of majorette was created and why. Not one word on HBCU culture in general that inspired it. HBCU marching bands and dance lines still underfunded, valued, and used. Number two, at Jennifer Hudson's show, also had the responsibility to do research on this before inviting them on the show. Had they done the research, they themselves could have appropriately credited HBCUs and HBCU marching bands from the beginning. Number three, the issue is not in creating spaces for yourselves at predominantly white institutions. Mostly everybody championed that. The issue is lack of credit and knowledge of history that inspired the style of majorette dance. Even in this statement, they're extremely missed the mark, and that's the problem. Not a sentence about how HBCU marching bands, dance lines, flag teams, and baton twirlers cultivated a style of marching and performance because we had to out of necessity, because black art and composition would not be used in primarily white institutions. Number five, No comment on how HBCU bands travel to play at primarily white institutions and are mocked and tormented, and have their musical pieces and dances stolen immediately after. Y'all primarily white institutions didn't compose a piece for neck on their own. You know that. 6. And yes, we can offer critiques to our own people when they miss the mark. The same way you all hold sacred black traditions to a certain standard, cultural religions, cultural ideologies, D9 organizations, and etc. is the same way you need to hold the standard for HBCU culture. And the only way I'll have any peace on this issue is if the same platform that invited them on the show at Jennifer Hudson and I Am Jennifer Hudson invites majorette dancers from actual HBCUs who've created the moves we saw displayed that were not credited. I'm not only saying this as an HBCU grad, but also as a person who participated in marching bands as well. It's wrong, and if you have been a part of marching band, you know how hard HBCUs have to fight to get recognized for our work, and you know how often we go uncredited for it as well. Number 9. And those of you who don't get it, absolutely scream anti-black to me. I don't know. Number 10, I also said JSU because the J SETIs are openly acknowledged for the creation of bucking, but that does not exclude the other 40 plus dance lines at HBCUs. Okay, so that was kind of a lot to unpack there. That was a nice book to go through and actually read a couple of chapters to understand that this woman has issues because she looked at the video and was like, hey, these girls did not give the correct credit. They need to let people know who really came up and created these dances and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay, I can, kind of, see your point there. And, she stated that she was really fighting for this due to the fact that she was a part of these bands, at one point in time, in her life. But for the life of me, I can't really understand why a black woman would come after young black women who are simply doing something that they, in a sense, love to do. For the most part, a lot of the dance moves that we have within black culture, we have gotten those from other black people. Do you expect every single black person to give credit to every single person that we got a twist, a turn, a back break, or whatever it is, a shimmy or a shake? That doesn't really, in a sense, make any sense, right? When it deals with black culture, it is meant to be shared amongst each other. If people get credit, in a sense, that's cool. If people don't get credit, I mean, that's cool as well. Because when it comes to a style, because it is so there and because it is so present and has been there for a long time, people who know and understand who have watched these bands will know where the style, in a sense, came from. Or also, if those people feel like they didn't get the credit that they deserve, they could simply happen to reach out to Jennifer Hudson, or they can happen to reach out to the young girls. And, I'm pretty sure, they can have a conversation and they can take it from there. But as she stated before, the young girls never gave any type of credit.
So majorette dance is a style of dance that originated from HBCUs, and this is incorporated with Western African aesthetic dancing as well as jazz and hip hop influences as well.
Another one.
So majorette dance is a style of dance that originated from HBCUs, and this is incorporated with Western African aesthetic dancing as well as jazz and hip hop influences as well.
Wow. So you mean to tell me that this person wrote a whole dissertation on these young black women in college who wanted to do something there, who wanted to, in a sense, make their imprint, right? They wanted to put their place in history in a sense. And you mean to tell me within the same exact episode of this person that was complaining all this time that they actually did give credit to HBCUs and listed where a lot of the dance and whatnot specifically came from? I'm a little bit confused on where we are at this moment in time in history. I just really don't understand it. But better yet, let me go to some other comments here.
Here comes a new challenger!
So here are a few of the comments. One woman stated, they just need to give credit where credit is due. We all know where they got the style of dance from. Like, come on. Another person, yes, it would have been. It's better dance teams to represent that craft that are more polished and have worked harder and actually are dedicated to the craft. It's only being showcased now because it's at a predominantly white institution. Y'all are trying so hard to miss the point of the person. But let's talk about black women swiping intellectual property, which is what choreography is, from other black women, uncredited, unpaid, in the name of uplifting a race. Another woman, they look a mess. I'm just saying it. Another person, what pisses me off about the whole video is her saying, I didn't do it. I didn't do this for me. I did it because I didn't see young black girls in the public eye. Like, did you just make that up or are you being for real? They have been presented. They literally are the ones who created it. The only thing that I'm seeing here is bandwagoning hate from black women on social media towards young black women for completely no reason at all. Every single black woman that I was able to see that stated that these young black women are in the wrong, they need to apologize, they need to do this, they need to do that. None of these black women did any type of research to literally watch the episode or to find clips online to understand how wrong they were and what it is that they assumed, because that's all they did. They went under what one black woman stated, all of her feelings and emotions laid directly out on the floor, and then they empathized and sympathized with that one woman complaining about these young black women, didn't do any type of research, and then just condemned and just decided to go all in on these young black girls. I'm like, black women, like, this is 1,000% ridiculous. And this is the main thing that I've stated before, that amongst black women, there is so much discourse, there is so much hate, so much envy, so much jealousy. This is why I've stated before with tons of proof that the whole thing, which people say like, oh yeah, the sisterhood and yeah. People want to make it seem like it's there when it's realistically it's not. Look online, ask other black women about the experiences that they've had with other black women, how they've been treated, how they've been looked at, how they've been talked about. If a lot of black women out here are honest, they'll tell you how when they come into the room and there are other black women there, that there's an automatic attitude, that for some odd reason there's some type of competition or however, like there's negative energy there, and the black women that just came into the room don't know any of these black women. That's all I'm seeing here. I'm seeing these young black girls getting the spotlight, and I'm seeing all of these other black women who ain't never really had no time, no type of attention, no 15 minutes of fame, trying to jump and bandwagon with another black woman and trying to side with her against these young black women. It's ridiculous. It makes no type of sense. People talking about being divided, this is what that looks like. This is 100% what this looks like. All of these black women underneath this comment section should be ashamed of themselves for how it is that they decided to go after and disrespect these young black girls who are going through college, educating themselves, leveling up, doing the things that black women want young black girls to do, but this is how you go at them. You're not showing no support. You're not showing no type of love. All you basically did online is devalue these young women. And then you get mad if a man were to jump in and add on to it. Then you want to try to switch up. But then after you destroy him, you switch back. Like I said, all of this, like, it's ridiculous. If people don't understand to see what this is, like I said, I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all just a lost cause. And as I keep telling y'all, if I'm going to talk about something, I'm going to bring up the proof in order to showcase the evidence. Because you ain't going to be arguing with me. You better be arguing with this video. You better be arguing with this, all these tweets that I basically showcase. You better be arguing with these black women out here that's doing this. Don't come here arguing with me. I ain't the one. Argue with the ones that's the actual problem that's doing this. I'm just showcasing. I'm the messenger.